Have you ever wondered why sometimes you feel a tremendous surge of energy inside you, yet you still can't get yourself to take action? It's as if there's an engine inside you eager to run, but someone keeps pressing the brakes. While countless thoughts dance in your mind and numerous dreams appear and disappear, you find yourself at the end of the day stuck in the same place with the same thoughts and with plans that are always postponed. Maybe you've been angry at yourself many times. You promised, "This time I will definitely change," but then everything fell back into the same cycle, and a quiet voice inside whispered, "I guess I'm just lazy." But what if that voice isn't telling the truth? What if the thing you've been calling laziness for years is actually a more complex protection mechanism hidden deep within your mind? Today, I'm going to talk to you exactly about this. If you listen to this entire video, you won't just feel motivated, you'll gain an understanding that can create real change, and trust me, you've never heard it explained this clearly and this comprehensively before. At the end of this journey, which consists of 3 parts, you'll understand why you're stuck and you'll have a clear roadmap to break through that blockage. But you must listen from beginning to end, because if this story remains incomplete, it loses its meaning. So if you're ready, let's begin. We all know that feeling. You see people on social media who have completely transformed their lives, started new jobs, gotten fit, achieved success after success. And as you watch them, you say to yourself, "I have dreams too, maybe even bigger ones." But then you look and realize you're still in the same place, days pass, your plans fade away, and that inner voice asks again, "Why can't I do it?" It is exactly at this point that Jung's concept of the shadow emerges. This is the dark but incredibly important part of your personality. It's the collection of the parts of yourself that you have repressed, the things you're ashamed of, your fears, the feelings you hid when you were hurt as a child. In other words, the shadow is your unseen other side. And the strange thing is, the bigger your dreams grow, the bigger your shadow becomes. Because every new goal, every "I can do better" thought scares it. Its job is to keep you safe, to keep you in the zone where you feel comfortable. But this sense of safety eventually turns into chains that bind you. And whenever you decide to do something, it shows up and tells you things like, "I'm tired today, let some time pass, now is not the right time," and stops you. Why does this happen? Because deep down, the idea of change might scare it. A bad experience, a criticism you once heard, or a moment of embarrassment may have implanted in your mind the belief that new things cause pain. Right now you want to change, but your brain is still using the old protection method. So, you are not actually lazy, your brain is just trying to protect you from getting hurt. But while trying to protect you, it unconsciously imprisons you, and you interpret this as lack of motivation. You may have heard Jung's famous quote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Maybe you've said many times, "I'm just like this, I always quit halfway, I'm not organized." But these are not fate. These are old stories written by your shadow. The good news is, once you become aware of them, you gain the power to rewrite the story. Let me ask you something, is the real reason holding you back the fear of not being able to accomplish things, or is it the idea that if you succeed, you might lose your familiar self, the version of you that you can comfortably hide behind? Many people fear success more than failure, because success forces them to change, increases expectations, raises the question of, "What will people think?" brings the fear of being alone, or removes excuses. And your shadow understands this very well, it will try everything to keep you in the safe zone. Imagine this, many times you wanted to start something, but suddenly found yourself cleaning your room or scrolling through your phone, right? These behaviors aren't random, because when change approaches, the shadow resists, because change threatens its power. You see this as reluctance, but in reality, it's a conflict between your conscious self and your shadow. According to Jung, the solution is not to fight the dark side, but to understand it. Because whatever you hide inside eventually gains more control over you, facing your shadow requires courage. Under this feeling might be anger, envy, or shame. But once you understand that emotion, it can no longer control you from the background, and that's when true freedom begins. I have a small request. Tonight, slow down for a moment, find a quiet place, take a deep breath, and talk to yourself as if you're talking to your inner being. Ask, why are you holding me back? At first you might get strange or meaningless answers, but if you wait a bit, it may say things like, I don't want you to get hurt again, I can't handle the criticism, if you change, I'm scared I won't recognize you anymore. And then you'll understand that what you thought was laziness was actually fear in disguise, and fear simply wants to be seen. So what should we do next? Jung says that when we understand our shadow, we shouldn't make sudden drastic changes because the shadow dislikes rapid change. Instead, we should take small, quiet steps that don't alarm it. Do one small thing each day, send one email, write for 5 minutes, take a short walk. Then, at night, ask yourself these 3 questions. Did I take a step today? What did my shadow tell me? What did I feel? Write down your answers, because writing makes awareness continuous, and awareness sparks change. Try this for a few weeks. At first it won't be easy, your old routines will try to imprison you again. But now you know that the voice inside you is just an illusion. Whenever you notice it, its power weakens. Because nothing that comes to light can scare you. Remember that change doesn't happen alone. Jung also said something similar, our dark side grows in silence and shame. So share what you experience with others. Start your comments with, my shadow is whispering to me, or, a small action I'll take today is, because when someone reads it, they'll think, I feel exactly the same. And then you'll see that you're not alone, and your shadow will begin to weaken for the first time. I've simplified Jung's method for you. First, recognize your shadow. Second, set a small goal. Third, reflect honestly each night. Fourth, talk to others. Fifth, don't fear mistakes, because even if you fall, what matters is getting up again. As Jung said, I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become. Do these steps for 3 weeks and you'll see that the feeling you called laziness will transform into a calmer energy. Instead of fighting yourself, you'll begin to understand yourself. Many people can't even reach this point. They listen for a few seconds and quit because that's exactly what the shadow wants. But you're still here, listening. That alone shows you want change. So now, a small request, speak the thought you're having right now. Something like, my shadow is whispering, or, the small step I'll take today is, because the moment you do that, you're no longer just the thinker, you become the doer. Of course, things may not always go as planned, you may struggle or old negative thoughts may return. But something is different now, you know these thoughts. You don't get angry at them, you don't fear them. In fact, this darkness becomes a signpost guiding you toward your inner light, a shadow that appears only because the light is near. Never underestimate your small victories. The shadow becomes most uncomfortable when it realizes you're truly progressing. If yesterday you set even a tiny goal and achieved it, celebrate it, it is still change. A week later you'll look back and think, I really accomplished something, and that silence, the silence of your shadow, will give you strength. What can you do today? Making a 5-minute plan, quitting a small habit, or simply taking a deep breath to gather your thoughts is enough. No matter what you do, know that small steps create big transformations. So think about the step you'll take today and, if you want, share it. People often imagine change as a big moment of inspiration, but real change begins exactly when inspiration disappears, when you wake up unwilling, when you feel heavy inside, that's when the shadow tries to pull you back. But that moment is not regression, it's the beginning of the transformation process. So today, tell yourself, even on hard days, I will return. It's not a show of strength, it is the acceptance of being human. The shadow is not evil, it showed up to protect you when you were little, but now it holds you back. Imagine yourself years from now, more peaceful, stronger, more self-aware. If this thought warms your heart, know that you are close. Only one small decision, one small step away. Another aspect of change is identity. Every time you say, "This is who I am," you make an identity statement, and your brain behaves accordingly. But identity is much more flexible than you think. Even one small action today sends a signal to your brain, "I can do this." Every small movement quietly builds a new version of you. One day you'll look back and realize that the tiny step you saw as insignificant was actually a turning point, because change doesn't happen through big revolutions, it happens through quiet, consistent steps that reshape your identity. So ask yourself, who do I want to be today, and what is the smallest sign I can take toward that identity? The answer is more powerful than you think, because even the shadow becomes quieter in the face of such determination. Now take a breath, relax your shoulders, think of the step you'll choose today. You may feel fear or reluctance, but it doesn't matter because now your awareness is awakened, and that alone is the beginning of change. Say the sentence that comes to your mind, "The small step I will take today is," and know that even that moment opens a new page in your story. Let me tell you something sincerely, you are standing at an important threshold without even realizing it, because people usually quit a long video somewhere in the middle, their attention slips, or they say, "Okay, I get it," and then leave. But you're still here, still searching for something of yourself in these sentences, and maybe you don't realize it, but this alone is proof that you're leaning toward change. You might be rebuilding a connection with yourself that you haven't felt in a long time, that little, "what if," feeling you had, that is the first spark of change. Let me ask you something deeper. While listening, did you feel a slight movement inside? Maybe comfort, maybe fear. Both are valuable. Comfort means you've reached the right point. Fear means you're on the edge of real transformation. And let me tell you something very sincerely, every small feeling you experienced while listening is like saying, "I am here," in the face of your shadow. Have you ever thought about what choice you're making about yourself simply by being someone who listened until here? Maybe the first step of the transformation you've postponed for years is the fact that you stayed here. But if you stop here, nothing changes. So here's a big but honest question, what are you truly feeling right now? Answer yourself with one word, say it aloud or whisper it internally. Just one word, just one feeling. I'm curious. And if you want, you can share it in the comments, because that word might light someone else's darkness. Someone might see it and say, "I feel the same," and that brief moment may illuminate another person's journey. I find that incredible. One word, one sentence can open a big door in someone's life. Let me ask you another deeper question. How many times have you thought, "I wish someone truly understood me"? How many times did you want a video, a voice, or a conversation to touch your heart? Maybe you don't notice, but you're experiencing exactly such a moment now, because this video is not meant just to be heard, it is meant to help you notice yourself. Let me tell you this, you may not have acted for years, you may have started over and quit many times, maybe you had days when even you didn't believe in yourself, but none of that makes you worthless, unsuccessful, or undisciplined, it just makes you human. And to be human is to break sometimes, to fear, to hesitate, to hit walls, to doubt yourself. But most importantly, being human means having the power to restart. And maybe today is the right moment to begin again. Maybe the quietest yet most important beginning of your life is happening right here, in these sentences. Now let me ask you something else. If you could change just one thing about yourself today, what would it be? Your habits, your thoughts, your actions, or your self-perception? Your answer reveals the deepest truth whispered by your shadow. And you may share it if you want, people usually fear sharing these things, but sharing liberates. And that sentence may shine a light on someone else's darkness. Maybe your words will make someone think, "I'm not alone." Imagine that, you might touch someone's life without even realizing it. Another question, while listening to this video, did you ever think, "Can I really change?" If you did, your answer is clear, yes, you can. And this change has already begun inside you. Look, Someone who hasn't started changing wouldn't listen this attentively, think this deeply, or turn inward. You've already opened the door of your own mind. Don't lose your belief, even the shadow is probably surprised right now. But you don't have to defeat or silence the shadow, communicating with it and seeing it is enough. Because here's a secret, the shadow doesn't like being seen. When it is seen, its power weakens. That's why right now you are already ahead. I want to add something else, maybe the most important part. The journey of change is not something to be ashamed of, it is something to be celebrated. Whatever small step you decide to take today, that step will be like a promise to yourself. Everyone who watches this video may interpret it differently, but your journey is uniquely yours. Your feelings, your fears, your strength, all belong to you. That's why writing, "The small step I'll take today is," in the comments is not just a task, it's a promise to yourself and a light you ignite in your own shadow. No matter how small, announcing that you took a step honors your existence. Let me tell you something intriguing. Later in this journey, you may reach a door you never noticed before, perhaps questions you've never asked yourself, habits you never paid attention to, fears you never understood. And now you have the chance to see them. You're not alone on this path. Under this video, in this community, there are hundreds or thousands of people who feel exactly like you. Think about it, maybe one sentence you write will brighten someone's darkness, maybe someone struggling like you will say, "So I'm not alone," and suddenly feel stronger. So I'm really curious, what is your shadow telling you? Which sentence echoes the loudest in your mind? You can't do it. You'll quit again. If you change, you'll be alone. Which one holds you back the most? You may share it or keep it to yourself, but even noticing it is a huge step. And one more thing, if this video spoke to you, if even one sentence felt exactly what I needed, giving it a like isn't just supporting me, it's like making a small promise to yourself. That click means, I'm also on this journey. Leaving a comment, if you want, may feel difficult sometimes. But believe me, speaking helps both you and others. Imagine, what if even one person reads your sentence and says, "I feel the same." Wouldn't that be something wonderful? Now I want to leave you with one last question, one that may stay with you all day. What kind of identity do you want to adopt today? Someone who does, someone who persists, someone who begins again, someone who is at peace with themselves. Which one? Even if you don't want to say it aloud, say it within yourself, because that choice can affect the rest of your day. And remember, I'm here, everyone hearing this is here, you are all walking the same path at different points. Now, take a deep breath, loosen your shoulders, place your hand on your heart, and say this inside, this time, I'm truly here for myself. This is exactly where it all begins. Today, you took a small but powerful step with yourself, and you should truly congratulate yourself for this achievement. Every journey starts with a single step, and what you did today is proof that you are willing to grow, to challenge yourself, and to embrace change. If you learned something from this video or found it inspiring, don't stop here. Continue your journey by exploring the other videos on our channel. Each one is carefully designed to help you discover your inner strength, sharpen your mind, and bring positive transformations into your life. Take a moment for yourself. Reflect on what you've learned today and think about the possibilities ahead. Investing time in yourself is the most valuable gift you can give. Click on the next video, because maybe, just maybe, the next turning point in your life is waiting for you there. Remember, small steps accumulate into great changes, and this journey of self-discovery is just beginning. Believe in yourself, trust the process, and allow yourself to grow with each experience. Every moment you dedicate to learning, reflecting, and improving adds up in ways you cannot yet imagine. Each challenge you face, each lesson you embrace, brings you closer to the life you've always dreamed of. Embrace the ups and downs, they are all part of your growth. Don't hesitate, move on to the next video, keep exploring, and continue to uncover the incredible potential within you. Your path is unique, your growth is unstoppable, and your story is only becoming more extraordinary with each step you take. Remember, the effort you put in today creates the foundation for your tomorrow. Keep going, stay curious, and allow yourself to shine in ways you never thought possible.